everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about my breastfeeding experience, what I've gone through, just some things I've learned along the way. And if you're a new mom or you want to breastfeed, you're pregnant, trust me, I did not know any of this. I honestly had read a lot of things about it before, like from online articles. When I was pregnant, I made the decision that I was gonna breastfeed at least for a year. I mean, I'm hoping still, hopefully, fingers crossed. And I made that my goal. So I've been sticking to it. It's been 4.5 months already. So I'm gonna be sharing with you guys some tips that I've had, some tricks, some things I've learned along the way in case you might need a little bit of advice. So to start out, I'm gonna be telling you guys my story and basically everything, my experience that has happened breastfeeding so far. So when I first had my daughter, right away they put her on my breast and they told me, okay, we're gonna try helping you breastfeed her. They sort of just kind of positioned her, latched her on, you know, it was kind of like in this position, she was just like being cradled like that. I didn't think I was doing it right. I didn't know if anything was coming out, and they told me, okay, we're gonna check if you have milk. So the nurse, she actually just went in and like squeezed my boob, and all of a sudden like milk started squirting out, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. Just knowing that you actually have milk was just a crazy enough experience. You don't know if you're gonna have it or not. It might take days, even weeks to come in. So I was really happy about that. I was glad to know that I at least had some. For the next 2 days that I was in the hospital, the nurses were coming in trying to help me kind of latch her on, because she had a really good latch, don't get me wrong. It was just that I had to try to find a position that was comfortable for her and for me. So I had tried the boppy pillow. I heard that the boppy pillow helps kind of position the baby better, put them in the football position, and that was not helping. I was just it was so awkward having her in that position, having her on the side right there. I just could not find a comfortable spot. That was my problem, I think. As far as that goes, I mean, it definitely improved, obviously, because here I am, I'm still doing it 4 months later, and obviously I've established some kind of routine. We have a way of doing it, and that's not even a problem anymore, honestly. Now, one of the main problems I had when I first started breastfeeding from day one, from night one, was that my daughter wanted to be latched on 24/7. Like, I am not even joking with you guys. She was on my boob all day, all night, and I remember that first night being up with my boyfriend, we were just like, is she gonna go to sleep? Does she just want to stay on me all day? Like, how is she still eating? She's a tiny baby. I thought their tummies were like this tiny. And the nurses told us, well, she's gonna have a growth spurt the night. She's probably gonna have multiple growth spurts. She can have one tonight, tomorrow night, and she was just gonna be attached to me. Here I was thinking it was never gonna get better. I was not sleeping. I remember the first few nights in the hospital and even coming home, like 4 days in probably having her. I slept maybe 45 minutes each night, and I felt like I was always up with her constantly. Like, she was always wanting to eat. If you guys hear that in the background, she's playing with her toys right here behind me. And she's having the time of her life. So basically, I thought it was never gonna end. I just remember feeling really helpless and feeling really like down about myself. I was like, how am I gonna be able to continue this? Like, am I gonna be able to do this? I was really doubting myself. I was thinking, if it's gonna be like this forever, there's no way I can do this. Just, I'm so tired, I'm exhausted. And I remember I was reaching out to so many people, and one of my friends here on YouTube, and actually in real life, we went to high school together, Carla. Shout out to Carla. She actually gave me some advice on Twitter because I was just having I was just not having it. I was not sleeping. I felt like I was gonna go crazy, you guys. So I messaged her, and I knew she has 2 kids, so I felt like she would have some really good advice for me. And she actually did tell me a lot of great things. She told me to just keep going. It's like that. That's exactly how it's gonna be in the first few weeks, and that's just how it is. She'll grow out of it eventually. It's just the newborn phase. Those first few months were just pretty brutal. I mean, sleep-wise, it still is not like the best, but as for breastfeeding, it's just got so much better, honestly. In the beginning, you really think nothing's gonna help, nothing's gonna get better. She's gonna be attached to me all night. She's not gonna wanna sleep. She's so noisy right now. So it really helped me having someone to talk to, having a friend that just knew about breastfeeding, who has that experience. And I really recommend you guys to have a friend, have somebody to talk to in case you're thinking about giving up on breastfeeding, because it's really a good thing for your baby. And I'm just so happy that I've been breastfeeding this long, 4 months in. So I know a lot of people also say that it's like the most painful thing. I've heard really crazy horror stories about bleeding, cracked nipples, and that really scared me, honestly. I was like, okay, I don't want that to happen to me. And yes, at first it was definitely painful because your breasts do get very hard. And Charlotte's over here farting behind me now. Oh my gosh. So yes, it was painful for me at first, but I did not experience the whole cracking, bleeding. I think that would have definitely traumatized me, but that did not happen to me. It was painful, but it was tolerable, you know what I mean? So I did use a nipple cream at first, maybe in the first month, I want to say, because after a while I was just like, okay, I don't want to keep putting this on every day. I do still have the nipple cream that I use, and this is the Lazano, I think I'm saying it, lanolin. Soothes and protects sore, cracked nipples. And I do highly recommend you use this within the first month, or just the first few days at least, because it is painful when you're barely getting used to it. You don't really know what you're doing, and this definitely helps ease the pain and kind of just like numbs your nipples a little bit so you don't feel anything. Another important thing I think you should have is breast pads, because you do start leaking a lot. And even now, I still have that problem. I'm constantly leaking. I guess I've always had a really forceful letdown. So basically that means when she first attaches to me, it just all comes down really fast. I definitely had that problem with her choking at first, and I had to learn how to position her laying down a little bit. So I was leaning back, and then I had her kind of like laying down. That's definitely a helpful tip when you do have a forceful letdown. So breast pads to keep you from soaking, because you do not want to have some huge circles around if you're going out or anything. One other thing that is just so important is to pump. I was not really keen to it at first. I did have a pump beforehand, so I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna pump. And then when I first had her, I was just too lazy to pump. I didn't want to do it, but honestly, it helps so much, and it's so good to introduce the bottle to the baby at a young age. Just because later on, if you want to go out, you are going to have to find a place to attach her to your breast in public. And I mean, if you're comfortable with that, then sure, that's fine. And you can do that, it's no problem. But if you want to go anywhere without your baby, you're definitely gonna have to introduce her to bottles at a young age, because then, like my daughter, she might start rejecting it. My daughter just recently started rejecting the bottle, and it's been really hard because I haven't been able to do anything or go anywhere, and I have school, so that definitely makes it hard. So pump, store it, freeze it, whatever you have to do, it's really important. It honestly helps so much, and I promise you guys, you will not regret that. So just to wrap up this whole little stories, tips video, I'm gonna say that I'm so glad that I've made it this far, 5 months down almost, and I got a few more months to go, and I'm honestly, it doesn't really bother me. I love it. I love having that bond with my daughter. I love that it's just so quick and easy to feed her, and I can just feed her anywhere, anytime, no problem. It's just, I know I'm benefiting my daughter in so many ways, and I'm just so glad that I've stuck to it, because trust me, there were so many times that I wanted to quit, that I wanted to stop breastfeeding. I thought it was just too hard, and I'm glad that I had that push to just keep going. So if you guys are watching this and you are a breastfeeding mom, you're a new mom breastfeeding, don't stop. Please just keep going, try as best as you can, and it will get better, I promise you. I was one of those people that thought it's never gonna get better, my daughter's gonna be like this forever. And now here we are, going 3 to 4 hours per feeding, and I'm telling you, at first it was about every 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and I thought it was endless, but here I am. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!